Greetings and salutations, audience. Mixed Game Mike here, bringing you Ace in the Window. Today, live to tape from the Bicycle Hotel and Casino in Bell Gardens, California.
Well, just for, I know a lot of the poker regulars in Los Angeles are very familiar with house players and things like that.
Yeah.
But some of the rest of the audience that might be in Texas or in other locations where that's not as common of a deal, can you tell us a little bit about what a house player is and kind of how that works, in general?
So in general, I think the current state is they're usually only in California, mostly Southern California, but also Northern California. So you get paid an hourly rate, and you basically end up filling the games. And when a customer comes in, then the house players leave, and then you have to play with your own money. You get at least health insurance and benefits here, sick days, vacation days, and they're much harder to get now. The deals are getting worse. So I was lucky I knew the VIP host, Jonathan Ng, and he got me in. A lot of people ask me, oh, can I get in? I'm just like, you have to wait your turn. And nowadays, it's obviously,
pickings, right?
yeah, if you're a
Difficult to
female,
find.
then it's you have an edge getting in. And if you're a pro, you definitely do not have an advantage getting in.
Yeah.
Because they ideally want break-even players. So, some former pros that play on their own slip through the cracks, and they're kind of legacied in. It's very difficult to get it if you were playing for a living before.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a pretty cool deal. So, the typical game you play here, if I remember right, is the 20-40 limit hold'em, and
Yeah.
then they also move you around to different games as needed, or
I started as a 40-80 limit prop. It's a really great gig if all you're doing is poker. But because I do live at the bike and I'll have other projects, I stepped down to a lower pay grade and lower limits because it's far less stressful.
yeah,
There's not much to say about that. It's if I was only doing poker, I would totally be as high of a prop, stakes wise, as possible because there's
Okay.
different pay grades.
all right. Cool deal. And then you mentioned the other mixed games as well. Certainly that's something we've have in common, and we've discussed that over the last couple of years on a video here or there, or a play you made here or there that you showed on your channel, things like that. So, do you have a particular game that you enjoy playing? I mean, obviously you're
Yeah.
profiting from money,
Right,
But
yeah.
when you're just kind of doing recreational, what do you?
I mean, I don't give that much action. I just give slightly above, a little bit of action in the mixed games, just because it's I know it's slightly less EV, but it's whatever. So basically, the priority is limit hold'em is what's needed for house players the most because people tend to not play shorthanded. So if you're a house player for no limit, which they don't give away unless it's a special case, except for people like Ryan Feldman or something like that who are doing live at the bike, it's a lower pay grades, and they actually don't give them away unless it's a special case. So that's why when people are like, "Oh, limit sucks," I'm like, well, if you want to do this for a living, you're either gonna play on your own, or you can do this cushy thing, for basically you prop until you die, I guess.
Right.
There's a guy with electrical engineering masters, Paul. He's 70 years old. He's still propping. Oh, by the way, yeah, a lot of the props are really highly educated. I've mentioned this on Live at the Bike before. One guy's a Juilliard Masters, two people went to law school, one guy went to Berkeley, one guy was a programmer. Yeah, it's just for people who go through higher education, this stuff is kind of child's play. All you have to do is pretty much show up on time and just be responsible. And just the landscape for other jobs is just, it's been really tough. It's if you made it, then people are oh yeah, all you have to do is work hard and make it. It's all right, dude, not everyone can do that. The same thing, people comment to me, they're how do you do 4 hours of commentary? I'm yeah, it's hard, not everyone could do it.
Yeah, exactly, right.
There's a lot of stuff I do, it's not everyone can do, and everyone's got different skill sets, and there's so many things that I can't do either. Just guys, figure out what you can do and just go for it.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for this show, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and Tell us what you thought down below in the comments. Bye now.